In this video, I'm going to show how to fix hip flexor pain for good. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. In this video, we're going to go over really easy exercises that can quickly relieve hip flexor muscle pain. If you're unfamiliar with the hip flexors, notably the psoas, they are a group of muscles located on the front of your thighs, and they are essential for everyday activities like walking, climbing stairs, and getting out of a chair. When these muscles become strained and inflamed, they can cause pains across the front of your thigh that work into the groin, even into the lower back. To fix this, we're going to go over exercises that are going to help stretch and strengthen the hip flexors for both quick and long-lasting relief. Each one of these exercises works differently. To get the best results, go through them all and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. Here's an exercise that we can do in bed or on a floor. Just start on all fours like this. Have your hands roughly shoulder width apart, legs roughly hip width apart. The first thing that we're going to do is take our knees and walk them straight outward like this. You should feel a really good stretch forming on the inner part of your thighs, working towards the groin into the hips. Once you feel that, you're going to hold that position, put your feet together, and then slowly rock your body backward, taking your butt towards your heels. The more that you rock backward, the deeper this stretch will get. So just build into it as much as you can. Hold it comfortably for about 5 seconds. You're going to release it and now rock forward. So rock forward as much as you can, because at this point you are now going to feel a really deep stretch form across the front of your legs, targeting the hip flexors. Again, hold this comfortably for 5 seconds, release it, take a breather. Try to do this nice and slowly for 5 to 10 repetitions, but if you feel like it's helping out, you're more than welcome to throw in as many repetitions until everything is nice and loose. But if you would like to take this one to the next level, instead of keeping your upper body straight, tilt it a little bit towards one side. So I'm tilting my shoulders towards my right, and then I'm going to repeat. This time around, you're going to notice that it targets the lower back muscles a little bit more. Those lower back muscles definitely work with the hip flexors. So give that a try towards the right and also towards the left. If you notice any of those positions are offering more relief, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. Here's a really good exercise that we can do seated. For this one, all we're going to need is a sturdy chair, preferably one without wheels. We're going to scoot towards the edge of that chair, have our legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent at 90 degrees. Take your hands, grip off to the side of the chair for support. So we're going to take one knee and we're going to press it straight upward towards the ceiling as much as we can, with the goal of getting our kneecap above our hip. The more that you press up, the more that you're going to feel a deep activation of those hip flexor muscles on the front of your thigh. Hold this comfortably for 3 to 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this on the other side. Do this as a nice slow marching motion for 10 repetitions on both sides. But afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. So to target the hip flexors a little bit more, we can add in 2 more movements. The first is, as you raise your knee up, take your hands and place them right over the top of your knee and just gently press down as you lift your leg up to offer some resistance. You're going to feel a really deep activation into those hip flexors. Again, hold that for 3 to 5 seconds, release it, repeat this on the other side. Another movement that you can do is to raise that knee upward as much as you can and then do circular motions with your kneecap. So go in one direction about 5 times and then switch it up in the opposite direction and repeat. If you notice any movement or position with this one is offering a little bit more relief, at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. But if you really want to take this one to the next level, instead of keeping your knee bent, straighten your leg completely like this, toes straight upward towards the ceiling, and then lift up. It's going to be a very deep activation. And again, you can offer some resistance with your hands, and you can also do circular motions with your foot. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. Here's an exercise that we can do standing. All we're going to need is a wall. Start off by putting your feet in front of you and then leaning your backside against that wall. Take your hands and also put them on the wall for support. So whatever side that you're having the most hip flexor pain, let's say it's our right leg, what you're going to do is keep that knee bent roughly at 90 degrees and then take your knee and drive it straight upward towards the ceiling. The goal is to try to get your kneecap above your hip. When you do this, you're going to feel a deep activation of those hip flexor muscles across the front of your thigh, working towards the groin. Hold this comfortably for about 3 to 5 seconds. You're going to release it, and then you're going to repeat this 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to drive that knee up just a little bit more. But if you would like to make this one a little bit more challenging and target some more muscles, as you raise your knee up, start to do circular motions with your kneecap. So I like to do nice big wide circles in one direction for about 5 repetitions, and then switch it up in the opposite direction and repeat. When you do this, if you notice going through any motion just really attacks tightness, achiness, or pain a little bit more, at that point I would keep building into that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose. But if you really want to take this one to the next level and target those hip flexors, instead of keeping your knee bent, straighten your knee out and then raise your whole leg up. This definitely will be a lot harder to do. So give that one a try. And you can also do circular motions with your feet to make it a little bit more challenging. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. Here's an exercise that's a little bit more advanced, but it's going to really help target those hip flexors. Let's break this one down. We're going to start next to a wall in a lunge position like this. This front leg is going to be straight ahead, knee bent at 90 degrees, while this back leg is going to be a little bit backward from our body. So kind of slide it back like this, knee also bent at 90 degrees, and then take your hands, put them on the wall for support. So the first movement is just lunging your body weight forward. So just press your hips and chest forward like this, kind of like leaning. As you do this, you're going to feel a really deep stretch over the front of your thighs, targeting those hip flexors. Build into this one and then hold it comfortably for about 20 to 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Relax by rocking backward, and then do this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. So to target the hip flexors a little bit more and also target the lower back muscles that work with the hip flexors, instead of keeping your upper body straight, tilt it a little bit towards one side. So I'm tilting towards my left, and then I'm going to repeat. Again, you're just going to notice that it targets some more muscles. So give that a try towards the left and also towards the right. If you notice any of those positions are offering more relief, at that point, keep throwing repetitions in until everything is nice and loose. But let's take this one to the next level and focus a little bit more on strengthening. So we're going to start in our original position like this, and we're going to take this front knee and we're going to lift it up towards the ceiling as much as we can, trying to drive that knee above our hip. You're going to feel a deep activation of those hip flexors. At that point, hold it for 3 to 5 seconds, release it, and then try to do this 5 to 10 times. And with each repetition, try to raise that knee up a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to keep everything in balance. So now let's switch gears and go over a really good strengthening exercise that you can do daily for long-lasting hip flexor muscle pain relief. For this one, we're going to start lying flat on our back in bed or on a floor. Have your legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. So whatever side that you have the most pain or discomfort, let's say it's our left side, what you want to do is keep that knee bent roughly at 90 degrees, raise it up towards the ceiling so your hip and your knee are roughly in a straight line. Take your hands, overlap them, and put them right over the top of your knee. The movement is pressing your knee backward as much as you can, but you're going to resist against this movement with your hands and let your hands win this battle too. As you press that knee backward, you're going to feel a deep activation of those hip flexor muscles working into the groin. I actually feel it around my hips, even into my lower back. Hold this comfortably for 5 seconds. You're going to release it, and then you're going to repeat this on the other side. Do this nice and slowly for 5 to 10 repetitions on both sides. But if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or 2. But if you want to take this one to the next level and target some more muscles that work with those hip flexors, we can add in what is called a marching bridge. So for this one, we're going to start in that original position, take our hands, put them off to our side for support. You're going to gently press your heels downward into the floor until you feel a light activation of the glutes or the buttock muscles, and then you're going to slowly lift your hips straight straight upward towards the ceiling until your body is in a straight line from your knees to your hips to your shoulders. You're going to feel a lot of muscles start to fire. The core muscles, your back muscles, the buttocks, the legs, again, everything that helps support those hip flexors. You want to hold this comfortably for about 5 seconds, release it, and then repeat this 5 to 10 times. Again, if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, try to throw in another set or 2. But again, we always want to target these hip flexors a little bit more, so you can add in a marching motion at this point to make it really challenging. So get back into that original bridge position and slowly lift one knee upward and bring it back towards your chest. And when you do this too, try to make sure that your hips are nice and level. If you start to notice that they're sagging at all, try to correct that. Hold this for just a second. You're going to bring that leg back downward and then repeat this on the other side for 5 repetitions, and then take a breather and try to do this for 5 complete sets. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.